What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going over Yubel. This deck is a GX archetypal deck featuring this Yubel card here. We did get a new card with Nightmare Throne. I guess we also got this in the previous set. There's going to be a new card coming up very soon, hopefully in the Battles of Legends set coming out next weekend, or I guess the week after that. Hopefully we'll be getting that card that's going to be like a negate for Yubel. It's another fusion card. Very nice. Before we dive into, if a like, comment, subscribe, we're on the road to 10K, hopefully hitting that before the end of the year. Helps us deck a lot. And if you guys want to see combo videos or anything like this, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do some Yubel combo videos. It does remind me a lot of Unchained, and of course with the Fiendsmith cards coming out in the next set as well. Definitely bumps up the consistency of this deck and the power. But diving on in, we're only playing one Yubel and then one Terror. I guess I'll also feature the 3 Spirits of Yubel. So the reason why we're only playing 1 and 1 and then 3 of these is because, well, first off, the one above this sucks. So you definitely don't want to play that one. And you don't need to play 2 Yubel because of the fact that like this deck does brick a little bit, or you just don't open the right pieces, so it's not really great to see it, and you can always get it back from the banished or the banishment zone, as it says in the card text now. And the Spirits of Yubel is just a really good card. You want to be able to search it. It's like a better version of Yubel, essentially. When someone onto the field has like the honest type of, or not honest type effect, but the like spirit, I guess, summoning effect to protect your life points. It can't be destroyed by battle, whatever. And then you take no battle damage involved in this card. So you make your opponent take the damage with the Nightmare Pain. They have to attack into it, yada yada yada. When this card is destroyed, it gets a summon from the deck, which is really cool. Then on summon, it gets a search, which is really nice. But that's all we really need for the Yubel monsters. Now for the Yubel, I guess, support, we have the Samsara, the Lotus, and the Double Grave Squirmer. So the reason why we're playing 3 and 2 of these is only because I don't want to brick on this card. Like, yes, I'm also mentioning we are playing the Shavara. I'll put that down here right now. So we do have 3 Squirmers, and this card is really good as a free special summon, but I don't want to ever see it as like a normal. And with the consistency of the deck, I don't want to be bricking on these cards. Like, we are playing a bunch of normals. We have like 6 normals. This does never really wants to be a normal. It wants to be an extender, and we already are playing the Nightmare Thrones to boost us up to 5. And then with the copy of, with our copy of the Terraforming, it's going to be like a 6 copy. Now, obviously, Nightmare Throne doesn't always search for this, but it's always an option. And we only special summon it once per turn, and then it can destroy Yubel, which is very interesting. You don't have to destroy it; you just can, which is nice. And then, of course, Samsara Lotus comes back in the end phase. Nice, you can distribute it off the Yubel. But leaving onto the field does have a lot of interesting effects, you know, being a forceful kind of a negate. People forget about that a lot. I think it's like extremely important. We are playing the Unchained cards. We are playing the Shavara as a 1-of. And then the last, I guess, Fiend card is Triple Beckoning Beast. This is a 0/0 that also has synergy with this deck by also being able to go into Yama. What's really interesting about this is that this actually kind of like Nightmare Throne merges you into this, but you get you Yama, which is your Shavara, and then you have like a bunch of effects. But unfortunately, Shavara does make the Unchained missed, or the Yubel miss timing if it's destroyed, because it's like a when effect. So kind of unfortunate that you do that. But you do have a really nice combo with Beckoning Beasts, and then the field spell, or yeah, the spell, sending this, getting your setup, which is nice, but we'll talk about that later. Now for the hand traps, there's like 11 non-engine in this. So we're playing the Triple Ash, Triple Veiler, Triple Impermanence, and then we also are playing the Talents and Call of the Grave, but that's not going to be mentioned in this part. So we want to choose 9 hand traps. You could play 12 if you wanted to, but like, I really want to open up 1 or 2 of these and then see other cards as well, especially going second or going first. Talents is really good in this deck, and you get hand trapped very easily. This deck does have a little bit of resource management when you do get hand trapped once, so being able to rip the card from your opponent is very useful, I find. That's really it for the hand traps, the most useful ones in this current format. Like, if I could, I guess, if you don't want to play the copy of Talents or the Call of the Grave, you could bump up and play Ogre instead as the next option. But for the spells, we are playing the triple copies of Nightmare Throne alongside the copy of Terraforming, and the triple copies of Nightmare Pain, and then the double copies of Gates. So Nightmare Pain is definitely a 3-of for now. When the fusion card comes out, we might cut this to 2. But, you know, having these search targets for this is really nice. Also helps you out with Gates as well, if you have a double copies in your hand, because you can search this off of the spirits. You can just discard it off the Gates, summon out one of those level 2 bodies. Nightmare Throne's absolutely crazy. It's being a starter and an extender, and then of course another extender when it gets something, a Yubel monster gets destroyed. So very important to note, which is why we're playing 4 copies of it. And like one thing else that I want to mention is like anytime you have double cards, this can just discard it for like absolutely free to summon out a level 2 from your graveyard with 0/0. Important to note. Also, if you cannot search with this, you can't activate it. Very important. People forget that all the time if they have the card in the hand and they just don't search. So you have to search with this card. Very important to note. It does screw you up a lot, which is why you have to play 3 Beckoning Beasts. Also, this card is the card to Ogre. It makes your opponent take the life points. So if you're playing against this deck, this is definitely the card to Ogre. Now for the other spells, we are playing the 3 Prod of Prosperity. I think this is absolutely necessary in the deck. Anyone who's not playing this, I'm kind of questioning. This deck does have a bricking problem, and being able to dig for those cards is extremely important. We are playing the double Talents and the 1 Cobble the Grave as well. So like this is kind of like our 3 non-engine slots. Like I guess you have that 15 non-engine total. But we're playing Prod of Prosperity just helps you be able to have more consistency. And then these cards are obviously great. I feel like this deck can sometimes lose to one single hand trap being like an ash in a very important spot. So having that Call with the Grave as interruption to protect yourself as well can be very useful. And then of course Talents to rip a card from your hand if you get hit with a low impact hand trap. Being able to take away with that second hand trap or just ripping out one of their engine pieces can be just so vital in this current game state. Then for the last 2 cards, we're playing the Eternal Favorite and the Abomination. Now you can definitely change the Eternal Favorites for an escape, or you can just escape out. I think Chamber is really good because it is the better Unchained trap. And Eternal Favorites is just as a Super Poly. I don't think Super Poly is necessarily amazing in this deck as we speak. We can only really Super Poly into this one here. And at this point, like I'd rather have a searchable Super Poly because I'm not playing Mature Chronicle. That card's absolutely dog shit. So being able to search for this off the Spirit of Yubel and then setting it as a Super Poly can be quite nice in those grind games. And like in the right state, you can just take off all these monsters and summon this out from your opponent's side of the field because it can take all your opponent's stuff and +1 Yubel, and that can be just devastating alongside if you have like a Rage set up, which is really cool. But yeah, like these 2 are kind of like the only trap cards you want to play, the only sort of bricks in the deck. There are other bricks as well, like these 2, but like they're kind of soft bricks, so you can still use them, including the traps. Just being able to set it out can be quite nice. Moving on into the extra deck now. We are only playing the 1 Fusion. We only really need 1. We're not playing Super Poly, therefore we don't really need to have a second one. If you are playing Super Poly, which is definitely viable, you can play if you want to. I just don't think it's that good right now. You could play 2 of these because you'll go into it much more often. And then for the XYZs, we are playing the Verutus, the Dijin, and then the double Train Engine, and the Sky Crisis. My speech is a crisis. But the XYZs, this is our new version of Baron at Home. The legal one, very nice. It also has a secondary effect, that secret effect, the pop in the graveyard when it's destroyed. Very important to note. It's like the Unchained hidden card. Shout out to Thomas for teaching me that one. This is because you're playing the Beckoning Beast, you do get summon this out a lot of times. It helps you play through Nibiru if you have that gas hand. And this is just for time, alongside being able to go on top of this. A lot of times you want to be able to punch with your 0/0s to end up going for game, but being able to slap this on, let's say if you're playing like Dark Ruler Post Side, and just being able to beat over everything just how it comes up very often. And then Typhon's Typhon, not much to say, going second is really nice. If you're going first, you can always just prosper away. Now for the links, this is very much Fiend Link still, the beginning stages of Fiend Links. We are playing the best Fiend cards, the Unchained Soul of Yama and the Soul of Rage. I kind of want to get this in QCR, but I'm not going to spend that much money. Rage is absolutely incredible. Gorgeous QCR rarity from the Rarity Collection too. Shout out to Konami for putting that card in there. I just love this card. Being able to have these 2 as interruption, and then being able to even if you pop this, for example, with the Shavara, and then being able to summon back out, you add any Fiend with this, so you can add back like a Beckoning Beast or a copy of Samsara Lotus, or even a Spirit of Yubel if you want to when they declare an attack, especially on a note, get your search. There's lots of different variations that you can play for this, and this being able to bring back this, or this being able to bring this back out, popping like a Yubel, and then also getting that summon as well, just helps the deck insanely. There's lots of niche interactions that you play, and you find out more and more and more of that these random times they come up where this energy is just really there. This card's absolutely insane. You guys, if you aren't prepared for this card, definitely get prepared, because this card is going to link your monsters away into SP, and then you're going to get rid of their card as well, which is kind of crazy. But We also have the Anguish option as well. Just a powerful card alongside the copy of Abomination. You could cut this for an access code, but I just really do like the pop of Abomination. Sometimes just summon this onto the field and being like little pop cards, blow stuff up is just extremely fun to play. I really just love this. I love the Unchained cards personally myself so much. Then for the other generic links, we're playing the Mirage just for like your combo. A lot of times you want to be able to link up and stuff like that. You can go into this. It's like for Samsai's the Lotus as well, you know, being able to link away and get the effects. Or even the Beast, if you normally summon the Beast, get hit with an Imperm and you already have a copy in the hand, you can activate the gates, link away into this, and then summon it back out, start your link ups. Very important. And then we have the Dark, just because you can summon stuff out. And then you also have the Muckraker. This card's extremely important. We're not playing Nightmare Griffin. I feel like that card's absolutely dog shit right now in the format. You know, you're going to be playing it branded, and yes, then the deck gets absolutely incredible. You summon out a Nightmare Griffin and you win. But almost every single deck is playing SP right now, other than like a very few. Even Tempai, it doesn't solve the Tempai problem because they just start making the Link OTK and beat your ass anyways. So not the go-to right now, unfortunately. It is an option that if you want to play, you definitely can. And then for the last two cards, we are playing the SP alongside the Appaloosa. So we're not playing the access code like I mentioned earlier. I prefer the Abomination. But we're not playing Super Poly because I just don't feel the targets are that great. And there is one other card I'm forgetting I'm missing out here. It's a link that we're not playing that I just feel like is not really good. We're not playing Honorable Goddess, I guess, right now. I don't find that that card is going to, like, you don't swarm the body as often as you could. So we're kind of not really playing it. Oh, we're not playing Princess. So you can play Princess, and I guess you can also play Duel of Chimera. I'll bring it out right here. The problem is that you don't have enough fires. Like when you look into your deck, when I was playing the Unchained deck, there was multiple fires you could summon out here, and you can always add back the Duel of Chimera. With this deck here, you know, depending on what you want to cut, it doesn't really come up where you have that extra interaction where the Duel of Chimera is going to be adding back your Shawarma, summoning out the Princess, and then you're locked into Fiends. Like, you have to organize your cards correctly. Your Spirit of Yubel then becomes useless because it's a dark, and just overall not a great case to play. So that's why we're not really playing it. Summon it back out. But like other than that, there's not really much to mention. There is a line with Appaloosa that you can play as well. If you want to bump up your Unchained package a little bit more to play more Unchained cards. Or you can just like go completely and just cut some of the Unchained stuff, or cut like your targets or some of the XYZs to play Super Poly as well if you want to. The deck is really like a basic deck right now. It's going to get a little more complicated when we do get the Fiendsmith cards alongside that Fusion. Kind of be based more on Fusion cards, but it is going to be a contact Fusion, which is going to be nice. You might be bumping up the Yubel to 2 at that point. But till then, this is kind of the deck that we're rocking with. If you guys want to see a combo video, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys hit the 50 likes, I'll do a combo video for you guys. I'll maybe show off like 3 to 4 combos or test hands as well. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.